we're breaking into our regular programming right now because what we're witnessing at this moment is nothing short of extraordinary. Just minutes ago, President Donald Trump concluded an emergency address from the White House that has left the nation absolutely stunned and the world scrambling to understand what this means for global security. This is breaking news of the highest magnitude, and we're going to walk you through everything we know right now. As this situation continues to develop minute by minute, the president appeared before cameras in what sources are describing as an unscheduled urgent announcement that caught even some senior officials off guard. His demeanor was serious, his message was direct, and the implications of what he just said are reverberating through the halls of power in Washington and in capitals around the world. This wasn't a routine press conference. This wasn't a policy speech. This was the President of the United States delivering what many are already calling one of the most significant national security announcements in years. Let me give you the context of what's happening right now, because this doesn't exist in a vacuum. For weeks, we've been watching the situation between Iran and Israel deteriorate at an alarming rate. The tensions have been building, the rhetoric has been escalating, and intelligence officials have been warning privately that we could be on the brink of something major, something that could reshape the entire Middle East and potentially draw in the United States in ways we haven't seen in decades. And what President Trump just announced speaks directly to that crisis. And according to his statement, the United States has received what he called highly credible and deeply concerning intelligence regarding imminent threats not only to American interests in the Middle East, but potentially to the homeland itself. He spoke about the Iran-Israel conflict in stark terms, describing it as a powder keg that's about to explode, and warning that the consequences could reach far beyond the region. The president was specific about some things and frustratingly vague about others. He confirmed that American military assets in the Middle East are now at the highest state of readiness. He revealed that the Pentagon has been authorized to take what he called all necessary measures to protect American personnel and interests. And he issued a direct warning to Iran, stating in no uncertain terms that any attack on American forces or allies would be met with what he described as overwhelming and immediate response. But here's where it gets even more serious, and this is what has national security experts particularly alarmed right now. The president didn't just talk about threats overseas. He explicitly mentioned threats to the American homeland. He announced that the Department of Homeland Security has been placed on heightened alert status. He revealed that federal agencies have been coordinating with state and local law enforcement across the country to enhance security at what he called critical sites and potential targets. Now, what does that actually mean for Americans watching this right now? It means the government believes there is a credible threat that could manifest on American soil. It means that intelligence agencies have picked up something, whether it's chatter, whether it's movements, whether it's planning, that has them concerned enough to go public with a warning. And it means that we are entering a period of uncertainty where vigilance isn't just recommended, it's essential. The markets, as you might expect, have reacted with shock and volatility. We're seeing movement across all major indices. Oil prices are spiking as traders absorb the implications of potential conflict in the Middle East. Gold is surging as investors flee to safe havens. Currency markets are in flux. And all of this is happening in real time as the world tries to process what the president just announced and what it means for global stability. So let's talk about the Iran-Israel dimension of this crisis, because it's absolutely central to understanding what's happening right now. So the relationship between these two nations has been hostile for decades, but what we're seeing now is different. Israel has been preparing for the possibility of a major Iranian attack. They've been conducting military exercises. They've been positioning assets. They've been making it clear that they will defend themselves by any means necessary. Iran, for its part, has been issuing increasingly threatening statements, talking about retaliation, talking about consequences, using language that suggests they're prepared to take actions that could trigger a wider war. And the United States sits right in the middle of this. We have treaty obligations to Israel. We have massive military presence throughout the region. We have strategic interests that we've defended for generations. The idea that we could remain on the sidelines if this situation explodes into open warfare is frankly unrealistic. And President Trump's announcement today makes it clear that the administration knows that and is preparing accordingly. What's particularly striking about the president's statement is the tone. Those who've covered Trump for years know that he often speaks in hyperbole, often uses dramatic language to make points. But this was different. This was measured. This was serious. This was a president who appeared to be genuinely concerned about threats that his intelligence community has briefed him on. And that shift in tone is itself significant. It tells us that whatever information has been given, it's serious enough to warrant this kind of public warning. Congressional leaders are being briefed as we speak. We're hearing that emergency sessions are being called. Members of the intelligence committees are being brought in for classified briefings. And what we're hearing from those coming out of these meetings is that they're shaken. They're not giving details about classified information. But their expressions, their body language, their urgency in their voices, it all suggests that what they're learning is deeply concerning. The international reaction is coming in rapidly now. NATO allies are seeking clarification from Washington about what this means for collective security arrangements. Middle Eastern nations are trying to understand whether they need to prepare for regional conflict. Russia and China are watching closely, calculating how this crisis might affect their own strategic interests. This is a moment where the entire global order is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. Let's talk about what we don't know, because that's equally important right now. We don't know the specific nature of the threat to the homeland that the president referenced. Is it a terrorist plot? Is it a cyber attack? Is it something else entirely? The administration hasn't provided those details, and there's debate right now about whether that's appropriate or whether Americans deserve more specific information about what they should be watching for. We also don't know the timeline. Is this something that could happen in the next 24 hours? The next week? The next month? The president's language suggested urgency, but he didn't give us a specific time frame, and that ambiguity is creating anxiety across the country. People want to know whether they should be changing their daily routines, whether they should be avoiding certain places, whether their families are in immediate danger. The Pentagon has been remarkably tight-lipped since the president's announcement. But we are getting some information from military sources about what's happening operationally, and additional assets are being moved into position in the Middle East. Aircraft carrier strike groups are being repositioned, special operations forces are reportedly on standby, missile defense systems are being activated. This is a massive military mobilization happening in real time, and it speaks to the seriousness with which the administration is taking these threats. Back here at home, the Department of Homeland Security has issued updated threat advisories to law enforcement agencies nationwide. Major cities are increasing security presence at transportation hubs, government buildings, and large public gatherings. The FBI has activated its network of field offices to maximum alert status. And state emergency management agencies are reviewing their protocols for responding to potential attacks. And what does this mean for everyday Americans right now? Officials are saying continue with your normal activities, but remain aware of your surroundings, report anything suspicious to authorities, follow official guidance from law enforcement. Don't panic, but don't be complacent either. It's a difficult balance, asking people to be vigilant without creating mass fear. But that's the position we're in right now. The political implications of this announcement are also significant and can't be ignored. President Trump has long positioned himself as a strong leader on national security issues. His critics will undoubtedly question whether this announcement is genuine or whether there are political calculations involved. His supporters will point to this as evidence that he's as willing to be direct with the American people about serious threats. But regardless of the political lens through which you view this, the facts remain. The president has issued a warning, federal agencies are responding, and the situation is serious enough that it demands our attention. Intelligence experts we've spoken with in the last few minutes are trying to piece together what might have triggered this announcement. Some believe it could be related to intercepted communications, suggesting a coordinated attack plan. Others think it might be movement of Iranian assets or proxy forces. That suggests imminent action. Still others are speculating about cyber intelligence that indicates a major attack on American infrastructure or systems. The truth is, without access to the classified briefings, we're working with incomplete information and trying to connect dots that may or may not be connected. What we're also seeing is a cascade effect across various sectors. Aviation authorities are reviewing security protocols. The energy sector is assessing vulnerabilities in critical infrastructure. Financial institutions are stress testing their cybersecurity measures. Healthcare systems are preparing for potential mass casualty scenarios. And this is the machinery of national security mobilizing across multiple fronts. And it's happening because the threat assessment has reached a level that demands this kind of comprehensive response. The human element of this story cannot be overlooked. There are millions of Americans right now who are worried, who are scared, who are trying to figure out what this means for their safety and the safety of their loved ones. There are military families who know their service members are being put in harm's way. There are intelligence officers working around the clock to track threats and prevent attacks. There are first responders preparing for scenarios they hope never materialize. This is real, this is serious, and it's affecting real people in real ways. As we continue to monitor this developing situation, we're also watching for additional statements from the White House, from the Pentagon, from Homeland Security. We're expecting more details to emerge in the coming hours. And though how much detail will be made public remains an open question, what's clear is that we've entered a new phase, a moment of heightened tension and uncertainty that will require steady leadership, clear communication, and unity in the face of whatever challenges may come. The president ended his announcement with a call for Americans to trust in their government, in their military, and in the resilience of the nation. He invoked the strength and determination that has carried America through previous crises. He expressed confidence that we will emerge from this moment secure and strong. But he also made it clear that the road ahead may be difficult, that sacrifices may be required, and that vigilance is not optional but essential. Right now, as this breaking news continues to unfold, we're committed to bringing you every development, every update, every piece of information that can help you understand what's happening and what it means for you and your family. And this is a moment that demands serious journalism, careful analysis, and responsible reporting. We're going to stay with this story, we're going to get you the facts, and we're going to help you make sense of what may be one of the most consequential moments in recent American history. Stay with us as we continue our breaking news coverage of President Trump's major announcement and the developing crisis that has put America on high alert.